Hello everyone. So today in this video, let us do something very simple with Scriptrunner. I'm sure I have shown something similar in the past, but when it comes to scripting, usually there is a new version of Jira, there is a new version of Scriptrunner, and there are some methods that are deprecated. So we also need to keep our scripts up to date. And I wanted to, show you something very simple. Basically, what we'll do, we'll learn how to update a single select list field, right? So that is of course very simple thing to do, but usually people struggle with it, and we'll do it step by step so that you can follow and you can also learn how it works. So what I will do is I will create a new issue in my Jira instance. So I have a project called demo, and I will create a new story, and in this particular issue I have let us say a field which is called as impact, right? So there is a field which is impact, which can have different values. Let us say the value is right now medium, right? So what we want to do is we want to update this field value programmatically, and there are many use cases for this. I mean, I'm sure you may want to update a field value, maybe based on some automation. Maybe this ticket is getting created from somewhere else, and you want to sync it. Maybe you want to, for some reason, change the priority, not the priority, but in this case impact, so that you can alert someone. So you can I'm sure figure out a lot of use cases, but doing this update is slightly different than a typical field in Jira. And by the way, if you are using Scriptrunner for Jira, you can always look at the examples. Like I'm sure there might be an example for single select list field, maybe not. Anyways, let us write our own script. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to of course fetch the issue, and we'll of course do it for this issue, which is demo 25. And to fetch the issue, maybe we'll first start with issue manager. And when you're working with issue manager, you have to import some classes. And what I will do is I'll import a couple of classes that I know I will be using for sure. So basically we need issue manager, and when it comes to issue manager, you just need to start with issue manager, and you can say issue manager. You can basically declare this variable, and you need to use of course component accessor. We can't really do anything without component accessor, right? So let us first declare this, and we'll start with this variable issue manager. And then when you have the issue manager, you can then retrieve the object, the issue key that you have. And for this you need to simply do something like this: define issue is equal to issue manager that get issue object. There should be a method somewhere, I hope. And by the way, if you're using Scriptrunner, I mean, of course you have these suggestions, so you can use it. I prefer of course using IntelliJ, so that I can be quick and do it smoothly, because this, I mean, although the suggestions are great, but it is not like IntelliJ, right? So let us type in our issue key. So our issue key is of course demo 25. And by the way, Scriptrunner script console will alert you, and not only alert you, but it will force you to use happy, I guess, but I don't really use it. I mean, I use it sometimes when I have to do something really quickly, but I prefer doing it the old way, using Jira Java APIs. And if you run this code, of course you can get this issue. So basically now we have this issue variable that we need to use for doing a lot of wonderful things. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to of course retrieve the custom field, and for doing this we have to use a custom field manager. So let us type in here custom field manager. I will declare this variable custom field manager, and I need to again use component accessor. These suggestions, they sometimes take like some time. I mean, they're not always super quick. They can take like couple of seconds or couple of minutes, and I'm not couple of minutes, but even couple of seconds delay is not really good enough, right? So let us work with get custom field manager. So this is our first variable for custom field, and what we will do is we will now retrieve the custom field. So the custom field that we're talking about is impact. But whenever you are dealing with custom fields, or when you're doing something like this, just create like a function or a method that you can call. So use like generic names. In this case, I'll use custom field, and that is of course my field custom field object. Then of course use custom field manager, then get custom field object, and we have to pass in of course our field name, and our field name is impact, right? And this will of course give you all the fields. It will basically give you a list. You can do something like dot first, but you can also, I think a better way of doing it is simply just find the exact field that you're looking for. So okay, impact is not found, which is weird. And okay, so custom field object, I think I need to use objects by name. So objects by name. Okay, so this is fine now. So impact. So now we have a custom, like we have this field, and if you retrieve this, it will give you the field name, right? And of course now you need to do something. Now the thing with the select list field is that you can't really update. It's not a text field here, so you can't really update the field directly, because you need to know what all values we have. So basically we need the field manager, right? So the next thing that I will do is I will define the field manager, and basically we need, whenever you're dealing with field managers, basically using of course your Java APIs, you need to do it for a specific issue, so that Jira can only retrieve those field options that are relevant for this issue, right? Because you can also have context, so these values might not be the values for a different project. So let us do that, and for doing this, let us create custom field. So we basically need a custom field config. So I'll define a variable here, define custom field config, and it is of course our own variable, but we need to then type in here custom field dot get relevant config, and then we have to pass in the issue. And this is, if you look at this custom field dot relevant config, and if you now try to why it is not okay, now it is working. So sometimes it can take like some time. So let us return. There is no need to return, but if you now run this, okay, I think maybe we should return this. So let us do custom field config, and if you do something like this star dot, and if you type in here, I think there should be, what are we looking at here? I think we are looking for no, I think we also need to do something else. So we need to basically now fetch all the values that we have. So for doing this, so now we have the config, and now we have to fetch the values. So now we again need to use component accessor, and then type in here dot options manager, right? And then we have to retrieve the options, get options, yes, and then we have to basically feed it the custom field config that we have just retrieved earlier. And now you can see that we have all the values. And now if you can also do something like star dot I think there should be like option, I guess, or maybe not. Anyways, so there should be value, right? Or not? Okay, so yeah, so basically what we need to do, we just need to run a loop. Not really run a loop, but we have to search in these values. So basically what we want to set here, let us say we want to set we can obviously define a variable like a group, maybe it's a variable on top that you can later on change. So let us say define option to update, right? And this option to update could be, I don't know, let us say medium. Let us try medium here. So basically we need to fetch medium from these options and then use that option. So for doing this, you can do something like this, where we have the list. Now we can actually do something like dot find, and when you do dot find, of course, then you can do something like it dot value double equal to option to update, and this will give you the option, right, that we need. So if you run this, it should return medium. If you run high, this will give you high, right? So this is good. Now we can obviously save it somewhere in a variable so that we can later on use it. New option to update equal to, right? Now this is all good, but what we will do now is we will now what I was trying to do. So basically what I will do now we have to update the field, and for updating a field we have to, when you update a field you may or may not want to update the history, the change history. Let me show you both. So there is a way. So if you don't really want to update the history, you can do something like custom field dot update value, and when you look at the update value you have to pass in some parameters, and for passing the parameters you have to specify field layout item, which is null. Let us do that. So the field layout is null. Then we need to specify the issue object. Then we need to basically pass in the field value holder map. Basically, if you do something like this, I think it's probably better to first do it somewhere on top. Or let us just do it here. We are lazy. New modified value, and then we have to fetch the existing value. I'll just move it somewhere on top so that we can all see it properly. So we have to specify here the existing value, issue dot get custom field value, which is my custom field, and then we have to specify the new value, which is new option, and I think that is it. And you can then pass in this value as it is to our method, and the last is the change new default issue change holder, and I think that is it, right? That should be it. Why it is okay? I think I'm probably missing. I think I'm missing something here. Custom field, okay, and custom field. I think it looks good to me. Maybe it is taking some time. Okay, let's try to run this code. So so the current value right now is what is the current value here? The current value here is medium. Let us run this. Okay, I think there is something wrong. So let me just double check. Custom field, okay, update issue null. We are also passing the issue here. Then we are passing new modified value, and then we are also retrieving the custom field, get custom field value, and then okay, new option to update. It looks good to me. I don't know what is wrong here. And new default issue change holder, okay, is applicable. No signature method is applicable for okay, so this is not good. Custom field, okay, let me just quickly check my other code. I also have this code here. I'm sure there is something wrong which I'm missing. I'll just copy here the other code. I think there was no change, or maybe there was some change. Anyway, I don't know what was missing. Oh, okay. So I used update issue. My bad. So we have to use update value, not update issue. Okay. So this is all good. So basically, when you're using this, it will update your issue. For example, right now the impact is now high. We can change it to low, and if we run this, it will change it to low, right? You can see here that it is low. Now this is all good, but if you look at the history of the issue, there is no history, but we want history. In case you may not want history, but in case you want history, there is another way. Let me show you that other way. So I just use my code which is already there, so that we don't have to type it from the beginning. So basically what we need is, we basically need to do these two things. First we have to, okay, application user. Let me just import application user, and okay, and also event dispatch. Come on, event dispatch. Perfect. So if we look here now in this particular code, we are first, of course, basically you have to use the user, but the main thing is issue.set custom field value. Now, to make sure that you are dispatching an issue update event, and also you want to update the history, you can use this line, get issue manager.update issue. Now, if you run this code, and if you look at the history, this will now also reflect in the history. So we can see here in the history low to high, and there is also something that you can try. Let us see what happens if we comment the last line, and if we now change it to low. Do you think it will happen? The update. So now we are changing it to back to low. Refresh, and it is still high, right? So basically, you need to use these two lines and these two lines of code, and the main thing here is that we can make sure that the issue history is updated, and you can also trigger an email. And by the way, this event is actually important because sometimes, usually when I work on some scripts where let us say we are creating an issue or we are updating an issue, but we have to also send a message to Teams or Slack, whatever, and for some reason that is not happening. So we have to, of course, check for these things. For example, there might be a listener. Whenever you change the impact to high or company-wide, maybe you want to, maybe there's a listener who is listening, or which is listening for it, and you want to maybe do something. But without this, it won't happen, right? And I think it is a good practice to have this update in the history. And if you want to send an email, like the default notifications, if notifications are configured, you can also change this last parameter to true. So it will also send an email. And this is good, right? Because you may want to send notifications. And yeah, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you found this video useful and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.